So year nines, we're carrying on with the travel writing and focusing today on travel blogs and understanding how travel blogs differ from travel guides. If we look at this short extract, Impressions of America, I shall never forget my first sight of the Statue of Liberty. As we approached the statue by boat, the sun sparkled off the headdress, making it look like a giant star. I'd never seen a larger statue. It towered above us as we got out of the boat. It was awesome. I spent a whole morning in the fascinating museum at the base of the statue learning about the harrowing experiences of the immigrants who started a new life in America. Afterwards, we climbed the steep spiral stairs to the viewing gallery in the statue's torch. Although I've always been afraid of heights, I was entranced by the spectacular view over the river and towards the New York skyline. So although that's still telling us about a landmark, it's written in a different way to a travel guide. You'll notice that the writer has included her personal opinions and feelings about the places that she's visited. She's included descriptive details to help help her readers picture the scene clearly. These don't just focus on facts, but they also give her personal view of what she's seen. So we're going to have a look at another travel blog now, and then there'll be one more before we look at the different features that we've noticed from travel blogs. The beach I like to visit is a sun-drenched, angelic beach, the sunlight glittering on every grain of sand, the beach idyllic, white and fresh. This beach has few people resting on its pillow-like floor. The sea washes in. A small wave washes across the sand, dissolving the remaining footprints of its inhabitants. My beach is in a cove, a tranquil, iridescent, perfect cove. The sailboats, so elegant in design, dock at the local harbour. I watch from my viewpoint on the white sandy beach as the captains of each ship slowly step onto dry land, like aliens landing on a strange planet. My worries disappear as the crystal water touches my toes. Its warm, soft touch echoes through my body. The tide so slow and delicate in swallowing the sand beneath my feet, I hardly notice the small fish in this glass-like water edging further and further towards. I will return in the morning, just to see the water join in harmony. This next one, little bit longer and written about something quite different. This one's about ice fishing in Canada. I'm no expert, but I've learned that with all outdoor activities in Canada in the winter, it's all about the right clothing and layers. You need to be warm, but not sweating. Sweating can be bad as moisture will freeze. So it's warm socks and waterproof boots rated to minus 32 degrees C or better on the feet. Thermals, either tracksuit pants or jeans, and sky pants on the legs. Cotton is not ideal, but it was all I had. And thermals, Polartec t-shirt, Polartec hoodie and windproof waterproof coat topped off with a warm beanie for the head and warm gloves for the fingers. I'm ready. So it was off to the Ottawa River we went. Believe it or not, the conditions were not that bad at all. About minus 6 degrees C, with occasional light snow flurries, but no wind. It's the wind chill that can make ice fishing very uncomfortable, therefore the need for shelter and the ice fishing hut. First spot we went was a bit of an exploration as the ice fishing huts have just started to be towed out to this spot at Petrie Island. So as Larry explains, there must be some activity that is drawing the fishermen here. Yes, you read right, they tow their huts out onto the ice with quad bikes or SUVs. Could be a bit hairy for the inexperienced, and even the experienced get caught sometimes. There was a floral wreath nailed to a tree as a tribute to a fisherman who had lost his life there last year in thin ice. You need to be careful and know what you're doing. This is no joke. We fished the spot until 4:30 with little success, but Larry did manage to catch a small sauger, a common freshwater fish in the Ottawa River system, and good eating, but a bit too small to keep. So features of travel blog writing then, and we need to copy these out. They cover out of the ordinary subject matter. They use humour to engage the reader. They use personal first-person narratives. They use personal experience and anecdotes. They use noun phrases to describe. They create clear pictures in the reader's mind. They can be written in an informal, chatty tone. They can use metaphors and similes to describe. They used facts about the place being described, and they list adjectives in threes for added impact. So what I'd like you to have a go at doing, once you've copied out those 10 features of travel blog writing, is to rewind slightly back to those 2 travel blogs that we've looked at, the one about that beautiful beach and the one about the ice fishing in Canada. And I'd like you to try and write down at least one example from either of the 2 travel blogs for each of those 10 features of travel blog writing. So for example, to start you off, covering out of the ordinary subject matter. Well, the fact that the piece about the ice fishing in Canada mentions about seeing a floral wreath for someone who had lost their life through going through the ice, that you wouldn't really expect to find in a travel guide. It's not necessarily something that would make us think, oh, I'd love to go there. That sounds like an amazing place to visit. So it's something out of the ordinary. It's unusual, not the sort of thing we'd usually expect to find in a piece of travel writing. So have a go then at trying to find examples of those 10 different features. So let's go through what you've come up with. We've already done the first one. We said covering out of the ordinary subject matter, things like one of the ice fishermen losing his life, falling through the ice. That's quite out of the ordinary. Using humour to engage the reader. It's not any out-and-out actual jokes in either of these pieces, but it's written in quite a light-hearted way, especially the second piece about the ice fishing. So when you've got things like, yes, you heard it right, that's sort of quite humorous. It's engaging us, making it sound like we're having a nice chat. Describing personal experiences. We've got things like when the ice fisher describes his friend Larry catching a sauger, which is one of the fish that they found in the river. Noun phrases, there are lots of noun phrases in there. Noun phrases, remember, are where we have a noun, which is an object, and then we use other adjectives to describe it. So like the soft, clean, white bed would describe the bed. The bed is the noun phrase would be the soft, clean, white bed. So here there were lots of examples of noun phrases. One I've picked out, occasional light snow flurries, but there are lots and lots in there that you might have found in both pieces. Clear pictures, creating clear pictures. Well, if we think about the one about the beach, we've got phrases like the sunlight glittering on every grain of sand. We can picture that in our mind. We can imagine what it's like. We could even have a go at actually drawing it if we're any good at art. Informal, chatty tone. Again, we've got the example of the humour. Yes, you heard it right. When the ice fisherman has got all of his waterproof and weatherproof clothes on, we've got that very short sentence, I'm ready. So it's written quite chatty, almost like we're having a conversation with this person rather than reading what he's written. Examples of metaphors and similes. Well, we've got the simile in the first piece. The captains of each ship slowly step onto dry land like aliens landing on a strange planet. Facts from the ice fishing piece. Ice fishing huts have just started to be towed out to Petrie Island. You might have picked out when they've got things like the temperature, obviously that's facts. And the final one, using adjectives in threes, just like the rule of 3 when we were doing persuasive writing. Again, used quite a lot in the first piece of writing about the beach. It describes the beach as being idyllic, white and fresh. And then it describes the tranquil, iridescent, perfect cove. So they're the examples that you should have been able to pick out from this. Okay, well done.